Wie viel Wert hat eigentlich eine Fliege für unsere Gesellschaft?
Based on a true story.
Also das erste wird ein Lacher sein. Also bestimmt werden wir erstmal belächelt, aber ich bin mir sicher, dass das Lächeln nur ein paar Sekunden anhält.
Saving flies in Deppendorf.
Das war ja schon skurril, ne? Also wenn man da hört, da gibt es Leute, die wollen Fliegen retten.
Erstmal gedacht, die haben einen an der Klatsche.
The ambivalent relationship between human beings and insects.
Das muss man sich mal überlegen, was es heißt für ein Unternehmen, was seit 50 Jahren Insektenschutzmittel herstellt, die sich viele Fragen gestellt haben. Und wir haben uns ganz, ganz intensiv mit Insekten beschäftigt und noch viel intensiver mit unseren Produkten. Aber wir haben uns nicht diese Frage gestellt, könnt ihr nicht einmal Insekten auch retten?
An insect exterminator confronts his reality.
Beim ersten Gespräch war er ja schon begeistert von der Idee, aber der hat sich da immer weiter reingesteigert. Das ist immer schlimmer geworden mit ihm.
And sends a fly on a holiday.
Aber so konsequent durchzuziehen, eine Fliege ins Flugzeug zu setzen und im Hotel mit kleinen Häppchen füttern, also ich weiß nicht, also da fragt man sich, ob derjenige nicht spinnt, der die Idee hat.
Die ganzen Tage, wo wir jetzt mit der Erika zusammen sind, habe ich nie gehört, dass irgendwie einer uns belächelt hat oder einer sagte, wir sind doch ein bisschen deppert.
A new awareness becomes apparent.
Ich habe so darüber nachgedacht, wieso handelst du jetzt so konträr zu deinen Handlungen, die du jahrelang immer automatisch gemacht hast.
The power of art turns an entrepreneur's world upside down.
Also mich hat diese Frage gequält, wie bekomme ich diesen Widerspruch hin?
Ich denke mal, dass er sich solche Fragen vielleicht sogar während des Festes gestellt hat, als er nun sah, was ist hier passiert, was habe ich hier eigentlich angerichtet, was habe ich hier getan.
Ich habe die traurige Pflicht, Ihnen mitzuteilen, dass Erika gestern verstorben ist.
The astonishing transformation of Dr. Reckhaus.
Es wird ihn schon noch länger begleiten. Ja, eigentlich wird das nie mehr los.
Insect respect.
Hello, everybody. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. And perhaps you're right. This seems really a crazy story. Saving flies together with a small village and sending one fly to a hotel by aeroplane. Here you see the first ever boarding pass for a fly worldwide. Well, I fear I have to tell you a longer story to explain why I saved flies. I grew up in a very traditional household. Hard work and discipline had been the strongest values in our family. My father built up a small company for insect-killing products, insect sprays, mud paper, ant control, all the things you need in your house to get rid of these bad, ugly enemies. And I was educated to run the company, and my parents never doubted, nor did I. I would be a huge insect killer. And I did my duty. After high school, I've started to study business and administration. But after the first successful years, first doubts crept in. Is this really what my heart wants? Is this coming logic of making more and more money without asking for honesty and sustainability, right? These thoughts made me fall into a black hole. I didn't want to sell needless or senseless products. I became deeply depressed and I wanted to study philosophy. But the chains of my conservative education had been too strong. It would be a treason against my parents, so I had to go on. But at least I made a small revolution. My thesis I wrote about green thoughts in the chemical industry and criticized my family or our family business. After the university, I came home and my parents retired after some years. I forced myself to do a good job and I quintupled the business in 15 years. but no smile, no pride. What was the purpose of this money-making logic? After these boring years of making insecticide products, I had a great idea for an insecticide-free fly trap. A product for everyone. You know, you just have to put it on the window and your room is free from flies. The sun attracts the flies and they will stick on my product. So this is great. Insecticide free. So I can combine sense with business. But with a small company and little money, I cannot afford a huge advertising campaign. And so I didn't know how can I make it big. As a private art collector, I saw the great success of the two concept artists, Frank and Patrick Ricklin. With a small budget, they make such an interesting art that all media reported about them worldwide. So this was the idea. They make art with my fly trap, and my fly trap gets famous. I contact them, and I gave them the order to create an art action for me. 2 months later, in the studio, the mood was damped. The artist told me, well, we thought about your product. Your product is just bad. It kills flies. And for ethical reasons, we cannot support you selling more of these products. Dr. Reckhaus, what is a value, or what value does one single fly have for you as an insect killer? This question cut me straight to my heart, shaking my very foundations. And they went on, Dr. Reckhaus, you have to transform yourself from an insect killer to an insect saver. You have to invent insect saving products. I was shocked. I was paralyzed. Game over. It was my groaning in the atelier, in the studio. Okay, Dr. Reckhaus, and here's our art idea. Together with you, we will try to find a village, and we will discuss with the people the value of flies and the ambivalent relationship between human beings and insects. And for once, we will treat flies like human beings, and we will send one fly to a hotel by aeroplane. But all these ideas are just against your current business, so you cannot do this. And in this moment, we three knew that there's no chance to get these ideas a reality. Back home in the evening, I spoke with my wife. My wife studied art history and has much more knowledge about arts than me. Hans, this is absolutely stupid. You cannot do this. Okay, I realize that I do not have to speak with anybody else, even if my wife thinks this is crazy. My products kill so many insects, so I can give back for once. My products kill so many insects, so perhaps I have to give back. After 2 sleepless nights, I called the both artists and said, yes, we will do it. Let's start. Over 9 months, we met often in the studio. And persistently, the artist asked me to change my business model. But how? And after many, many hours of talking, they suddenly said to me, Dr. Reckhaus, take an amount of money per every killing product sold and invest it in new saving campaigns. In this moment, I said, no, we will do it in the right way. Not just killing 1,000 flies and just save 10. No. Kill 1,000 flies and save 1,000 flies. We will build up insect-friendly areas to compensate this as insect loss. In this moment, the idea of the first killing products with compensation was born. Right ahead, on the next day, I started to work with biological scientists to work for a unique model. On the one hand, we measured how many and which insects our products kill. My fly trap, for example, attracts to 196 insects. And on the other hand, we did extensive research how we can build up insect-friendly areas. With the aim of biodiversity, having many different kinds of insects, we wanted to create insect paradises, natural substrate, flowering plants, attractive herbs, heaps of wood and stones. And after months, we finally found the formula for the natural balance. Well, this is great. This is really great. And I knew that this is a great innovation. And the first thing I did, I founded a new brand with my name, Dr. Reckhaus, the first killing products with compensation. But this is not enough. Also, the other biocides producers shall rethink. To enable that they can compensate their products, I will build up insect-friendly areas for them. And I founded the quality seal Insect Respect. Okay. But are insects actually valuable? Insects are very valuable. They play a key role in the ecosystem. For example, they are very important for the food chain. Birds and fish depend on them. And there's a very nice example of the cheeseburger from the famous entomologist May Barenbaum I will show you. Okay. The onions, there will be no onions and also no lettuce and cucumbers. Onions, this is cheese. And also there will be no beef. No beef. Why no beef? Because cows eat plants who need the help of insects. And also cheese. A cheeseburger without insects will just shrink to bread. So, insects are very valuable. But even worse, not only the bees, also flies, butterflies, and also mosquitoes pollinate plants. And I'm sorry, but there will be no chocolate without one kind of biting midge. This is one small mosquito which pollinates the cacao tree. No chocolate. If insects are so valuable. And yeah, I have to tell you about Edward Wilson. Edward Wilson is a world-famous entomologist. He has calculated that we live without insects just for a few months. And insects are dramatically threatened. Because of mankind's impact on the nature, we lost in the last 30 years around 50% of insect biomass. So insect decline is serious. But then I have a problem. Insects are valuable and insects are dramatically threatened. So compensation is not enough. I have to get a new plan. I have to work for a new understanding for biocides. Buy less, and if it's necessary, then with my compensation. The first is, I put a warning on the front of my products. Don't even trust a killing product which does not warn for itself. On the back side, I did many prevention tips so that the customer buy less in future. The second thing is that I plan to invent insect-saving products. You know, products where you can catch flies and bring them outside. And the third is that I plan to build up insect-friendly areas for others to compensate the biocide products. The artists Frank and Patrick Ricklin and I, we saved the flies in Deppendorf. We made the art action reality. We found a village with great people who wanted to get free from their daily life, who wanted to go beyond borders, who wanted to create something meaningful. This was a modern social adventure, realizing a superficially crazy idea with unknown people. We saved 902 flies, and we became friends for a lifetime. At the same time, my personal and business environments were shocked. My wife didn't go to the art action because she worried pictures of her saving flies in the media. My parents booked her first cruise. They wanted to stay far away from home. and they don't want to answer so many phone calls from their concerned friends. My 60 employees did not dare to look me in my eyes because they were so afraid of losing their jobs. My clients tried to stop me, and the National Association of Bioscience Producers didn't talk with me anymore. But I knew I was right, and it felt so great. So to show that my plans can become reality, I built up the first compensation area of the world for products nobody bought. I hired specialized people to improve our skills for sustainability and for building up insect-friendly areas. And my relationship with insects became closer and closer. For over 2 years, I visited libraries and wrote a book about the value and the endangerment of insects. And after 4 years, the first client came. The owner of one of the biggest retail companies in Germany heard one of my speeches, and months later I built up an insect-friendly area for him. And his product has been labeled with the quality seal Insect Respect. Other customers have followed. And today, I'm still happily married. And my parents and my employees are very proud of our story. And I built many, many insect-friendly areas for companies where I can compensate their products. But I also built areas for companies who asked me to transform their boring, grassy areas into insect paradises. Today, we plan to retrain our production staff to landscape gardeners. And all these things make so much fun, and I'm so grateful that I can run this company. You see, our vision becomes reality. The transformation from an insecticide producer to a sustainable company, from killing to saving this planet. And all this because of the dialogue with the art and the unknown. Thank you very much.